Hey, greetings, fellow nerds. I am a nerd fighting fat, and this is my weekly fat fighting update. My name is Mark, and I live just south of Salt Lake City in a community called Lehigh in Utah. I've battled being overweight my entire life. And being a science nerd, I am trying to science the hell out of it. So I'm doing alternate day fasting, I'm working out, I'm watching my sugar, and this is the update of my 35th week of being on Mounjaro, which is a GLP-1. It's like Ozempic, but also has a GIP agonist. And I am currently on the 10 milligram pen of Mounjaro. So let's get right to the numbers. So if you remember, those of you guys that follow me last week, I had a bad week. I went on a trip to Dallas. Whenever I go on these trips, I always tend to kind of spike up a bit. So I had a 7 pound gain last week. So this week, I pretty much lost what I gained the previous week. I had a 6.8 pound loss. So, I'm moving the right direction again. These trips definitely kind of sidelined me for a week or so. Got to figure out how to travel better. But luckily, I don't travel all that much. So just a couple times a year for work, and then occasional trip with my family like this one was. So anyhow, with that brings my total loss on Mounjaro back to 53.8 pounds. And overall, now from my high weight, I've lost 136.9 pounds. So, and then year to date, I'm at 22.6 pounds for 2024. So my blood sugar, it crept up a little bit. I'm at 118. My high was 185 for the week. So I'd like to see that, in the 100 to 110 range. So hopefully I can get that down a little bit. If I maybe eat a little bit better. Workout wise, I got 4 swims in, but I've done a lot of working in the yard this week. So I've been staying pretty active. I've been working in my garden, planting some radishes, carrots. It's like springtime, so those are the kinds of things I've been putting out. Spring crops, peas, and then I also planted an apricot tree and a couple of honeyberry bushes. So, been just staying active, working out in the yard. So pretty good that way, I think. I did get 2 36-hour fasts in. And one interesting thing, after one of my fasts, after fasting on Thursday, my ketone meter read 41, and that is the highest I've seen it read for me. So so this is a ketone meter that I use. Um, there's no branding on it; it just says ketone meter, and on the back it says ketone breath meter. Anyway, so I'm not sure what brand this is, but basically you breathe into it, and then it gives you a reading of your ketones. And so what ketones are, when you are fasting or when you are going on a ketogenic diet or a low carb diet, they're kind of an indication that your body is using fat for fuel. And so if you have a higher reading like that, then you're in ketosis and that your body is using your fat, which is what I want to see. So I was pretty excited to see that high of a number on this. So side effects for the week. The day after my shot, I got tired, but that's about it, really. It was pretty mild on the side effects side. So moving the right direction, and hopefully we can get some new lows here going forward. Hey, so for this week's For the Win, which is our fat fighting tool or product for this week. And again, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, right? I mean, losing weight is some serious business. You remember last week we talked about these Archer mini beef sticks, the zero sugar grass-fed beef. Well, I noticed on their website they had some other products, so I, thought I'd give them a try. So I got their jerkies, the zero sugar ones at least. So they have classic flavor, they have a mustard barbecue flavor, and they have a spicy sesame garlic flavor. So all of these have 0 sugar, and all 3 of them have very similar nutrition information, which is 70 calories per serving. And so each one of these bags has 2 servings, so it's a 2 ounce bag. And of that, we've got 2 grams of carbs and 0 grams of added sugar and 12 grams of protein and 1.5 grams of fat. So these are pretty much just protein. Not a lot of fat in it, not a lot of sugar, and I believe they're all pretty much the same. Let me double check. 2.5 grams of fat on the spicy sesame garlic, so a little bit more maybe from the sesame seeds, and then this one's back to the 1.5 grams on the fat on the mustard barbecue. So all more or less pretty similar nutrition wise. So taste wise, they're very mild flavors. They're not like super strong, which, you know, depending on your personal preference, may be a good thing. They're definitely not bad. I would definitely eat them, and I love that they're 0 sugar. The classic, it's got like a hint of garlic, and so you can see they put a picture of garlic and some spices on the cover, but I definitely can taste a little bit of the garlic there, and just a touch of a little bit of spice. Nothing that if you were one of the spice adverse kind of people that would bother you. The spicy sesame garlic was a lot less spicy than I was expecting, considering it had spicy in the name. But I could definitely taste the sesame. And the mustard barbecue, I didn't really taste much of the barbecue, and the mustard was kind of like a really mild aftertaste, almost kind of a thing. So some subtle hints. So really pretty good. Definitely love it from the aspect that there's 0 sugar in these products. Now I did find also they had one other product, which was smoked sausages. Now these are a little bit different from the mini beef sticks, and these I actually like the flavor quite a bit. Now these aren't individually wrapped, is the big difference between like these are nice because they're individually wrapped. These are not, but they have a really nice flavor. And again, these are 0 sugar, and the serving size is 2 of these, which is 100 calories, and these have a little bit more fat. Maybe that's why I like the flavor better. 6 grams of fat per serving, and only 1 gram of carbs, and then they have 9 grams of protein. So my puppy's like whining because he wants a bite of these. Anyway, so pretty good stuff. Anyway, so I really like these, and I love the fact that all of it's 0 sugar. It's a lot of times going through, and you know, you think you're going to be healthy and get beef jerky for a snack, and if you start looking at the labels, that a lot of them really do have sugar, and the ones that have 0 sugar, sometimes they up the price quite a bit. So kind of nice to find something that way. So anyway, I would definitely buy these again, especially the smoked sausages are pretty good. They taste about the same as the Zukes shorty smoked sausages as well. So pretty similar product. So there you go. Hey guys, so for this week's Fat Fighting Food, I thought I would show you what I do to when I like to grill outside, and you know, whether I'm grilling a steak or smoking a you know, some pulled pork, or just whatever I'm doing outside. I like to have some healthy sides along with that. One of the things I like to have is just I like to do some simple grilled vegetables. So I thought I'd show you guys how I do the my asparagus and zucchini that I like to grill. So especially as we get into this time of year where there's asparagus is plentiful in the as it comes up, and then zucchini will start really coming on in the summer. So these are asparagus. So the trick with these is the ends get really woody. So this part up here is kind of more tender. So I usually just kind of snap that off, and that's all you need to do. So I just feel for like the kind of the natural breaking point, and it kind of just does it for you. So I'll just take those off, and I put them over here in this dish over here. So again, this is a pretty fast little process. And there we go. And then for the zucchini, I need to grab a knife. All right, got a chef's knife here. So for the zucchini, I don't want to eat this little piece, so I'm just gonna cut that off, and we can discard that. And I'll cut off this little, and this was where the flower was, so you can see there, this is the end that it was attached to the vine, so we'll just give a little thin cut on that. And then this guy, what I do is I just kind of cut it into strips. So just more or less. Depending on the size of your zucchini, you may keep it just in quarters, or if the zucchini gets really big, it's not as good for grilling. So I usually like to get a little bit smaller ones if I'm going to grill, or pick them smaller if you're growing your own, which I will be, but mine are a little bit out. Okay, so there's some strips of the zucchini. So then I just put these into a baking dish, and we're going to use our EVOO, so just our olive oil. And don't use canola oil or vegetable oil. Those aren't really the best for you. So olive oil is a good choice for this kind of thing. So we're just going to put a little bit of that on there. And then I just use Montreal steak seasoning, and I just sprinkle this on my veggies. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in here. So again, and then I just kind of mix it up like so. And then I will take these and I'll put them on my grate. Here, I'll lift it up here in a second. My hands are kind of covered with oil right now. Make sure you wash your hands, of course, before you prepare food. All right. And there's some zucchini. Wash this off. All right. And then I have a grate that I just put these on, so I can just set this onto the grill and not worry about them falling through the lines in the grill. So we'll go outside here in just a minute, and I will show you cooking these up. All right, so one of the best things about grilling is you get to come outside on a beautiful day in order to make your food. So anyway, so this is my grill. So I have I call it Weber because we have a university and a county called Weber, but I've heard a lot of people online say Weber Genesis. So I have a smoker, but today we're using the Weber to cook these. And I put some sausages on there, so I just let those get started. And then you remember I put this on this grill, so basically I'm just going to set this grill just right here on the grate. And let's move these over a tad. Just kind of spread these out, and now this is going to get hot, this grate, or this grate here. So when you're taking it off, you can either choose to get some hot pads to take the grate off, or I just leave this grate on here and I'll just lift these off and put them onto a different dish. So once these are cooked. So anyway, I'm just going to set those in there, and then we will close the lid and let it cook for a few minutes, and then I'll show you when I give them a quick turn. And I mean, really all we're looking to do on these is soften them up and give them a little bit of a grill color. So, and they will be absolutely delicious. All right, so these are starting to get heated up a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of come in here and give them all a quick little turn, just to kind of keep them cooking evenly on both sides. So the zucchinis, I just kind of, you can put them on whatever side you kind of like, but they'll get heated up here. And again, I'm just looking mostly to soften it up. It's got that good flavor from the steak seasoning there, and just kind of move these around a little bit. And then I got these sausages on here too that are starting to get there, but they got a little ways to go still. So anyhow, there you go. So we'll be back here to check on them. I'm going to close the lid again, and we'll check on things in a few minutes. All right, so let's give this another quick check on these. All right, you can see they're kind of sizzling now, so give them a quick check. Everything's still looking pretty good on these. Sometimes they're kind of hard to turn with the tongs because they, we covered them with the olive oil, so they're a little bit slick. But and then the asparagus, I just like to roll them around. That's why I like to use this guy here, so they don't fall through the grill. And we'll give these a quick little check. This grill, for whatever reason, seems to heat up a little bit faster on the back part of it than the front. But anyway, things are coming along, so probably give them a couple more minutes. And again, so temperature wise, you don't want a blazing heat. You don't want to put it on the sear zone and sear these suckers. You just want enough heat that it's going to soften them up, and then give them just a little bit of the char. You don't want to burn your veggies. So we will give them a couple more minutes, and then what I'll probably do is I'll just take these and I'll move them up to the top rack, and I'll get or I'll go get a dish and put them on there. So either way, if you want to keep them warm while your other stuff cooks, if it's not quite done, you can put them up here, or you can just put them on a dish, and you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to call these done. So you can see there's just a little bit of char on the asparagus there, and then also just a little bit on these guys here. So that's just perfect how I like them. Now you could get a little bit more char if you wanted to, but you can see these are starting to fall apart. So I'm just going to move them over onto this dish right here. So and then I'll plate it up and show you a plate with this for a healthy lunch. So there you go. That is the plate. So I just added a little bit of I like this roasted garlic kraut, and then just some crab salad there on the plate. And then some people like mustard with their brats and sausages. I like to make a little curry ketchup, so I just did this sugar-free ketchup mixed with just some curry powder in it, and I just mixed that together, and delicious, healthy, low-carb lunch. So anyhow, hope you found that interesting. And again, those grilled vegetables, no matter what diet you're following, those are just delicious and healthy and good for fighting the fat. So that's it for this week. So no specific small victory for this week, but I'm feeling good. I love I'm moving the right direction. I love that clothes that haven't fit for years, I can pull them out and throw them on, and they fit again. I love that I'm better able to get out and be active. And I just feel like I have more energy, and at least I have more ability to it's easier to get up, like if I'm kneeling in the dirt and I'm working, it's easier to get back up. It's easier to do all these things. I was just missing out on life. So it's going to be a great summer, I think. And for you eagle-eyed people, I realized when I filmed my intro segment, the pen I grabbed to show is actually a 5 milligram. So you can kind of tell the colors on these. So there's a 5, and then I moved up to the 7.5. So that's the green one, and the one I'm currently on is the 10 milligrams. So that's the pink one. So once I titrate up to 12.5, then we'll see what color that is. I've been wanting to do that, but there's a shortage going on right now. So if you check the FDA shortages list, and Eli Lilly actually added a new website this week as well that shows shortages right there on their site too. And yeah, the Mounjaro pens are in shortage until it says until June now. So hopefully you guys aren't having difficulty if you're using this medication to get it. They released Zepbound, which is FDA approved for weight loss now, in addition to the Mounjaro that's diabetes, and it's the same medicine, the same pens, and I think that's probably impacting it a little bit on the availability side. But anyhow, uh, there you go. So keep fighting the fat, you guys, and I hope you're having loads and loads of success if you're battling as well. So cheers.